Valdez did manage to put on the wrong headset there briefly, so needed a little bit of saving. Phew, though, we are into draft and it's all working out fine now.
Didn't need to do us dirty like that.
Okay,
they can't
I
even
did it wrong.
see
You were
us.
fine. I was the one who just didn't look properly and put on the wrong headset. It's okay. It's okay. We're fine.
That's it. All is sane and normal here.
I'm on the broadcast. There's no way that's true.
As we do go back to our second game of this best of 3 between JD Gaming and MIBR.LOS. And we're already into these picks and bans, and they're looking very similar to game 1.
Don't give up the Cassiopeia, fair enough. Don't give up the Vayne, fair enough. We have seen what Zest and Duduhh can do with those, and clearly it's just like JDG saying, look, at least other champions we have done enough work against, we played enough against, that we're comfortable with it. And Vayne in general is obnoxious enough in general that you just say, you know what, that can go.
Yeah, absolutely. I like these bans. They're high priority bans. Again, keep that Camille out of the hands of your opponents, because if you can't secure it for yourself, then that's not something you want. It can get that very early advantage. Nefiri, Lee Sin and Jace targeted again here, so they really don't want, MIBR.LOS don't want Junjia on these highly aggressive junglers, at least in that early game, but lock in Vi for themselves.
Once again, we are seeing MIBR looking to be able to play towards those side lanes. Have a Talia, have a Vi, turn it to a side lane, press R, all is well. And you can match things like that Realm Warp from the Rise very, very easily. Hover on the Poppy already. Junjia has had a good showing on it. Had Vampire on the Pike to go with it, which was a good combo.
What's Hover plus Poppy?
Hopper.
Poppy.
I get it.
Hoppy, it all works. But
I get it. Yeah, it works.
I like this though, right? Because the steadfast presence from the Poppy can shut down a bit of what that Vi wants to do, prevent some of that engage, and really play defensively for JDG. So I already like this kind of counter pick, if you will. It just depends on where that Poppy's going to go. Rumble, obviously top. Rise, obviously mid. Poppy could be jungle, but could also be support. A little bit of a flex. We've seen more of the jungle lately, though.
We have, and again, when we've seen things like the Poppy support, it's often been when Camille's been left open. Because then you can sort of say, okay, Camille, I dare you to press E. Let's see how that goes. And the answer often is not so well. So that's the attempt with the Camille already off the board. Some of the reason to move the Poppy bot lane is probably going to be gone. And again, you do run into the issue as Poppy support of being, well, level 3 or whatever, while everyone else is level 7. You go in and
die.
Yeah, exactly. You're getting the vibe. Second phase of bans, though. Feisty with the Gnar pick into the Rumble. Rumble's going to win that relatively heavily to an extent. Again, there's been some nerfs there, but hey, we'll be fine. You get to team fight later.
That's okay. I like that pick. You might lose the 1v1, just don't lose it too hard.
Yeah.
But you will win the team fights when you go mega and you stun them all against the wall, because that's the dream.
Yeah, because Rumble has an ability that is incredibly poorly named called Equalizer, which is very unequal for most people caught in it. This will be an interesting one to try. Again, we've largely got what we expect to be top sides of the maps locked. The Poppy's still flexible, as we noted, but realistically going jungle, especially considering Junjia's history there. It'll be the Nautilus takeaway. We've already seen the Camille. I wonder whether this becomes a Pike to get rid of that kind of hook roaming trifecta we've been seeing come to the fore over the last tournament or two.
Yeah, we have definitely seen the rise of Pike. We definitely saw that come through Split 2, multi-regional. I want to say it kicked off more infamously from the LCK, right? People think Carrier, they probably think the Pike combo. People think Carrier, they think the Bard as well. He is responsible for having some influence over the rest of the regions.
You know, just a little, not like a load of supports go, this guy is my idol for good reason.
But then there's the interview with Carrier, like, what can we do to be like you? And he's like, you can't, I'm Carrier.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's got the skills to back it up.
Him and On are the two that you go, I don't trust what happens in your brains, because clearly it ain't like the rest of us, you know?
Yeah. And that's a compliment.
Yeah, genuinely. To clarify, before people think that's an insult. No, those two just are able to do things into the support role that the rest of us largely aren't. Varus gets locked in. We are expecting that to be bot lane. This is a lot more standard from MIBR. I'm hoping this is going to be an on-hit Varus. Poke Varus really does feel quite anemic these days. So then again, with the Vi, with the Talibi, just that extra bit of burst from a more standard or old school, I suppose, at this point. Poke Varus would still be fine. We'll wait and see.
I do like the last ban coming out of JDG. They're breaking up that traditional, that classic Vi-Ahri combo in that mid lane. So it will force MIBR.LOS to pick something else to work in tandem with that Vi. Something to, Vi will set them up, and then we need a mid laner to knock them down. Of what's available, obviously Orianna is gone. still think there might be the rise up.
No, rise to retake. I mean, to be fair, with the Taliyah already locked in, I guess with the Ari ban, they were saying, hey, we wonder whether this could be a Taliyah bot. And again, this is something that Duduh's been comfortable to do. We saw a good Cassiopeia game from them. Yesterday, we saw the Nivea from them already. So they've certainly been willing to pull out those mages that have been running rampant through the meta, to put it mildly.
I don't know why I like this one so much, right? I traditionally don't like Jin in an AD carry role, but I feel like paired with Alistar, it's a dynamic duo. You can't get on top of that Jin because Alistar's just going to rebuff you like good luck, sayonara.
And we've also just seen, this was much more true when Varus was like, holy moly, this champion is ridiculous. Every time he's in bot lane, it's a bad time for everyone else. Jin was the answer. You'd go down 5k NCS, but it felt like you at least had tools to trade back. Your W matched his Q. You had enough wave clear with your own Q. You could play from range. All those things that gave you options there to get through a laning phase, which a lot of other AD carries just couldn't do it. And of course, you've got the Alistar, and now the Nico locked in will confirm some fun stuff there from MIBR, but they can now go gallivanting elsewhere because the Jin's okay playing the 1v1 / the 1v2.
That's it. Another answer into the Varus, but I don't think it fits the composition here, was that Sivir, that spell shield, able to stop a lot of that poke, but if it is the on-hit Varus, that spell shield value is mitigated as well. So the Jin, I think, value definitely increased there, but I love the Nico here coming out of MIBR.LOS, that team fight engage tool. You go in, you get the knock up onto 3+, and then MIBR.LOS just follow up. That Taliyah's Weaver Wall, they're going to be able to collapse quickly. Varus going to be able to do a lot of damage from a very far distance away.
As ever, jungle support, mid jungles. Very, very proactive on both sides. We're going to have Realm Warps versus Weaver's Wall, Violts with Nico following along behind it. There's an Alistar on the other side with the Poppy going in. There's lots to consider here, and you're looking towards two side lanes, which you can definitely look to work around.
And that's the thing that I really love about the Poppy ult, right? Is it turns those fights unfair in your favor. You get an ult onto 1, 2, suddenly it turns into a 3v5 and it's good night.
Well, unless your name is Taki, right? How he managed to Spider-Naut his way back into 2 fights from Poppy ults.
And it's not the first time we've seen that either. If you can get that hook off at the right time, it's like your ult is wasted. But enough about the draft that was. We are talking about the game that will be, as we are now on the rift for our second game here of today's best of 3 between JDG and MIBR.LOS at EWC 26 in the Qiddiya City Battleground.
Very good. You know what the present is for me? It's casting with Logan. There we go. We get all 3 in there, and I get the cheesy line-up. Sometimes this job allows me to be a very silly human. It's great. Right, so early game, I am expecting Poppy probably to be trying to get pretty active. Xiaoxu's gone for the Ignite, I will note. We've got HongQ with the Ghost to match Feisty, who's done something very similar. So some fun stuff with our summoners at the very least. A lot less teleports than I've grown used to.
Yeah, earlier we were casting a game that had like 3 TPs on one side, 2 on the other.
And 3 globals.
Yeah, like these fights broke out and everyone was there. But I will note the cleanse from Gala, respecting the CC that MIBR.LOS has brought to bear. A really heads-up choice on this summoner's spell here. You were calling out that Poppy, and we have seen Poppy be a little slower in some other games to have any impact. But I really think they can have a lot of early game presence and impact here as well. And in the hands of Junjia, I believe it can happen. And the junglers are on opposite sides of the rift, so they'll be pathing down to the bot in about 3 minutes and vice versa.
And Vi is not really a champion until she's level 3. She needs a few abilities to actually be good, and that's one of the reasons things like the Nocturne is often really challenging for the Vi to manage, because you do lose all of those fights around your own wraps as the HongQ burning the Ghost. Feisty now returning the favor. The Unraveled Earth is there, and the threaded volleys come on down. Just be a couple of summoners traded there. Death via touch ticking a little bit there, but Feisty, I think on the whole, a little happier to get caught briefly by that spell flux, but no overload to follow. Junjia is mid though.
Already here.
There's the Rune Prison, and this is the combo.
Yep.
Flashes to prevent the easy wall knock, but it's a shove back regardless. Bit of a speed up with the Storm Rager Surge, and HongQ gets first bloods.
We were looking at the 1v1, and HongQ was throwing skill shots galore, and Feisty had the fancy feet, was dodging everything, was starting to trade back into HongQ, but HongQ kept the play going, baited it out, bought time for Junjia to follow up. Yes, it cost the Ghost and Flash out of Junjia, but it cost both from Feisty, and I would argue that that is fantastic, and they put the gold in the right place on to HongQ. HongQ.
He just came off a game where he popped off on the Orianna and clearly getting the rise, looking to do something very similar. Vampire forced to flash in that bot lane. There was a damage from this double-ranged bot lane, proving to be a little bit more dangerous than I think they were hoping for. The Comet lands onto Gala as well, who can't return with the 4th shot. But the fact that I'm seeing a Comet on Duduhh as well, that suggests to me we have got Poke Varus.
That's the one. So the plan then will be to sit at long range while this this Vi go in, this Nico go in. Varus wants to stay in those back lines untouched, poking with that Q, doing so much damage. But here's that Junjia we were talking about, that early aggression.
Junjia here with the Shark version of Poppy. I have decided Xiaoxu's got an Ignite. There is no Meganar. Current aggro is dropped.
Oh, the level up.
And that level up makes things a bit challenging. And actually, here's Ackerman. Maybe JDG going to think the 2-man route makes things spicy. Zest goes over the wall. Oh, dear. That was a step too far. And Junjia's alive. No way. When's Ackerman's next? Blooming Burst. There's that ability name. Steps on forward to Xiaoxu and forces the flash away. The Flame Spitter on.
Yeah, TP back to that top lane to try and get some XP off this wave before it dies to that turret, but we go to this replay here in the mid lane, and this is a little late, right? HongQ's low mana. He'd already sent a lot of skill shots at Feisty, who he dodged. Early flash is good, but the flash from Junjia to get in front of him and knock him back to HongQ to buy the time to get more autos down, beautifully layered there to finish off that mid laner.
Sometimes you don't need to hit a wall with the Poppy for the heroic charge to be good. If you just knock them away from their tower so they can't get to safety, it's still a bad time.
That's it, but let's take a look at that top side play, which I love. Junjia here goes in, gets the summon, the rune there, and prevents a lot of the damage protection. Zest flashes away, he's ignited, levels up, and we think, oh, he might be able to survive this one. And Ackerman responds quickly and well, gets the flash out of Xiaoxu here, but Zest flashes forward aggressively in the face of 2. I feel like that was a little bit of overconfidence, a little bit too eager, and Ackerman also forced to flash off the back end. A disastrous turn of play. Summoners burnt for nothing.
And Ackerman in that replay died as well, got picked up by Gala, so goes from bad to worse there.
Yeah, JDG find themselves up 3-0 at 5 minutes. First streak of the game has spawned. 1.3k gold lead right now. JDG, they're off to the races here in this game too. And as a reminder to every one of you watching at home, if you lose here and now, your key is crushed. You are done and dusted. Hopes and dreams of winning EWC 26 shattered.
Look, you keep the frame. That was part of it. You don't keep the key. What you get instead is kind of a replacement for how far you got through the tournament. Feisty gets himself Rune Prison, does not pass go, but has a get out of jail free card named Ackerman. Gets out there every time I see the Rune Prison. I have to admit, Monopoly goes through my brain because that's just who I am as a human.
But that's the thing, Ackerman is being in the right place at the right time. It's just the plays go bad. They're making some of these decisions, I feel, a little too late once the play is already done and dusted. And JDG, you know they're responding. Oh no.
That's a bit rough. The deadly flourish from downtown means it's a flash Rune Prison and Curse as well. Cursed.
You bring up that CC timer, right? You know when you're playing solo queue and you go, oh, how long was I CC'd for? That was 100% of their health bar.
Oh, Vampire walks out of the bush and gets a pulverize. We're getting the zoom in. Very nice production. There's a trample after an ignite. Junjia gets a stun into the wall. Not quite, but unfortunately for Ackerman, that slight miss means nothing.
This 6.5 minutes has been nothing short of disastrous for MIBR.LOS, and I don't mind saying that.
One. There's the pulverize. Don't get to miss that one now. They're going to try and get a third. There's one more to go. Junjia's going to get the stun into the wall. The flash away. Misses the 4th shot. That's not bad going, but the deadly flourish still lands, and you can miss all the shots in the world. It won't matter in the end as Duduhh tries, and it's not bad feet. The problem is there's only so much you can dance before the stage runs out.
That's it. Overwhelming odds in the favor of JDG. They set that up as Xiaoxu here has to run.
But where does he run to? There's a cease and desist, and unfortunately for you, Xiaoxu, there is no way to avoid that particular core order. Vi gets that kill.
And I do like that Zest didn't try and go back in. He would have given Xiaoxu the opportunity to get a kill. HongQ realm warps in, gets the kill on to Zest.
Nothing comes for free, does it? MIBR, even when they do get the kill, it comes with a punish. HongQ pulls off the realm warp, and now he's 2-0-1 as well. What do you do?
It just feels like JDG Gaming have all of the plays. They have the initiative. They have the mobility to get the numbers advantage where MIBR.LOS are playing from behind, and the advantages keep stacking in JDG's favor. That first Drake of the game is still on the Rift, but the grubs are coming up. 2.5k gold advantage over to JDG. They're just winning every fight.
They are. And again, this is a comp that you've got the Rumble, you've got the Rise, hell, even the Jin, right? You kind of want that item to get in here, so when you come to this fight, that first ult really stings. But as it stands, with Junjia top, they're looking to punish Zest again. Who cares about the objectives?
Vampire was getting chipped away, faked to run away, but they hung about. It's 3v1.
Wave clearly decided he needs to go into a cupcake or something, so they'll skin him alive. Zest into the mixture.
Oh, well, this is JDG in fine form. They've got these plays. They're communicating clearly. Junjia is everywhere.
Folks, I wish you could see me and Logan right now, because our hands just keep coming up in the air. It's like, what do you do? It's really oppressive to see. And unfortunately for MIBR on the other side, right, their ability to make a counterplay just hasn't happened. They tried to get the counterpunch topside. Zest flashed in and died. They tried to get the kill with the Vi topside, and then HongQ round warps and makes it a done deal on the other side. Junjia's now got those grubs, so the objective stacking is beginning again for JDG. They found 2,500 gold to the good, and it's been spread across some really nasty members.
Yeah, we do see some pings coming down on the Drake as Junjia gets those grubs. So MIBR.LOS obviously want to try and contest for an objective here. They get that Scuttle Crab, so they will have that vision around the Drake for when JDG go to start it up. But JDG, their stranglehold is tightening. Their grip on this game too is only getting stronger. 9 minutes in, it's 9 kills. I feel like I'm back home in the LCP. A kill a minute is our bread and butter.
Oh, isn't it just? LCP is a wonderful region to watch, guys, if you're not doing it already. I'd also highly shout out things like the LPL as well. To be honest, you can't go too far wrong watching Regional League in general. There's some great matchups to be found wherever you turn your eyes. That said, for now, our eyes are here in Paris, and that means we'll probably ought to lock in a little bit more about what's going to be happening over the next few moments. Dragons up, JDG thinking about moving up for it. They've got grubs to their name, so maybe they're more interested in getting that gold and getting those turrets.
Yeah, they would. No, they were definitely pushing up for priority there so that they could make that first move. They even had the ward in that Drake pit, so they knew if MIBR.LOS were going to make a play, but they made it so that they couldn't even make that play. So their vision control working really, really well for them here too. But let's take a look at where the gold is. It's jungle, it's mid, it's all of the bot. The only person who is up is Zest, and it's barely.
And he's still down most of a level. Is part of the problem here, and he's still actually down about 5 to 10 CS. That's not a great spot when your win is 70 gold, and that's because it's a turret plate and assist to your name.
Yeah, Junjia has started that Drake up as Vampire and Gala contest with Ackerman and Duduhh. They want to make sure that they cannot find an angle in. Vampire, job done, will try and push Feisty away, but HongQ has an angle on Curse here.
Taking 2/3 of his HP bar. That tick will keep going with the death fire touch on the other side. There's a route there onto Ackerman. That's not the clone. The shape changer won't save you there. Junjia gets the smite fight. The cease and desist buffers through some of the CC, but Curse again can't quite survive. Vampire's left low. Zest flashes for the knocker. Doesn't get Vampire. The headbutt away. They do get that kill. And now actually Junjia's in danger. The hammer shot means nothing. Shut down to MIBR. Signs of life for LOS.
MIBR.LOS reap the rewards of a fight well fought. They cut that gold lead down to 1.5k. At least 2 members of JDG go down there. So JDG at 8, MIBR.LOS at 3. However, JDG did get that Mountain Drake. So they got the objective, gave a kill over or 2, but it's nothing really to worry about here. And this is where it all started. Gala on the backside gets that deadly flourish onto Ackerman.
He does that.
With press forward, gets the heal. Drake goes down. Curse too deep. JDG collapsed, but MIBR.LOS have the angle here. The curtain call comes out, but it's mitigated by the clone.
All the while, we come back to live and we get a zoom on out as Vampire's just about able to escape. Everyone else appears to be alive. Feisty throwing out some of those threaded volleys, but they're just a little shy of HongQ.
We do see that role quest completed come through for Feisty, so I dare say he's been more mid-laney than HongQ has, because he completed his quest first. But that also tells me that HongQ has been willing to leave the lane to impact those jungle objectives, and that's where JDG are ahead right now. They have the 3 grubs, they have that Drake, and they still have a hold of a 1.5k gold advantage. But like you said, I'm loving the signs of life from MIBR.LOS.
We needed to see some because it was getting very problematic. The problem is Junjia is still very far ahead in terms of the kills. He's still got a Rise who's well ahead of curve. He's got 2 kills and 2 assists before he's even got a rower completed, which is a bit dodgy. However, MIBR.LOS now towards this bot lane. Curse was zooming on over, trying to find the angle. The 2 junglers trading. Gala at 2/3. Feisty flashes to try and get to Junjia and doesn't really find anything. That's a bit much.
Yeah, a lot of trading going on, but no kill potential coming down. The only members of MIBR.LOS with flashes is Duduhh and Ackerman. Whereas we take a look at JDG, Xiaoxu, fight breaks out.
HongQ over the wall of the red buff, getting some CC. The deadly flourish to flash into the wall. Heroic charge, and Curse is on the wrong end of their hero's hammer. Feisty tries to rock surf away and just about escapes on the tide.
Yeah, the Realm Warp was very aggressive. They thought they saw an angle to get more, but Feisty, as you say, with that rock surf, that movement speed, able to escape the follow-up from HongQ. So I really like that getaway. 9-3, well mitigated by MIBR.LOS.
Vampire with the Hex Flash over the wall into a headbutt and a pulverize and a rune prison. Do not pass go, but you will pick up 300 on gold. But the shutdown is significantly more, and Feisty gets something for their time.
Yeah, they were trying to juggle that aggro, but they just didn't get enough damage down quick enough, and Feisty plays that well enough, buys that time, gets the turret damage down. So thank you, turret damage. It was more than Feisty could have done on his own.
Now it's only 1,500 gold, and Feisty needed that. He's actually within touching distance. That was like 700 odd gold. That's what, like 2 kills worth there, practically. Which is very, very significant. Of course, HongQ, still 4 kills to the good, is having a great game. That's just a little unfortunate that it went on to someone who could really use the gold.
That's it. First item completions coming through just before the Rift Herald in 40 seconds. Next Drake in a minute and a half. So these fights, they're getting more explosive. Curse and Junjia both with the Sundered Skies to get extra sustain. They'll be able to trade a little bit more heavily into the back lines.
They might need to do that as well, considering we've got the Herald coming up, and I am, as you noted, kind of expecting some violence.
Violence? No way! It's in the name!
Surely not. Gala gets rooted. The Weaver's Wall is here. The Pot Blossom comes down. Onto 2. Chains of Corruption. Junjia is gone.
That was a great sequence of plays from MIBR.LOS to punish Junjia there. The flash out of Xiaoxu dodges that ultimate from Zest, so you love to see that commitment. And over in the picture-in-picture, the Rift Herald has spawned, but MIBR.LOS, they saw Junjia in the jungle and said, not today. That Pot Blossom from Ackerman onto 2, the Chains of Corruption from Duduhh to follow up and lock him down.
Costs you a summoner or 2, you get some in trade, and that means that the setup for those objectives isn't there. And again, that gold lead that was looking pretty significant, let's call it that kindly, for JDG has really dwindled away. This is doable, I think, for MIBR at this kind of discrepancy. Get to back again, pick up more components, and look to try and find another angle in the upcoming fight.
And I love the resilience of these teams, right? Sometimes these teams can be down 3, 4, 5, 6K we've seen before, and they fight their way back in because they're so resilient, because they're mentals, they've been practicing, they're training. Feisty is on a ward though, and we do see Vampire marking Feisty out. So this will be interesting to see if JDG want to go for a play on this top side, but MIBR.LOS look to be overloading that bot side. I don't know if a play can come through from this one though, as Junjia gets that Rift Herald uncontested on vision.
I thought I was mad for a second then, because I saw 3 Varus portraits on the map, and then went, yes, no, Nico is a thing. And that was why I saw 3 Varuses. So the overload partly ally with the Varus clone going on, but over comes Vi. A back away, got a bit of a chunk there. Dragon started by JDG, and they're looking like they're going to get turret and Herald and the bot Dragon as well. They're just getting everything.
Yeah, it feels unusual that MIBR.LOS aren't contesting these objectives, but then you look at the priority, then you look at the vision, and you understand why. It's not because MIBR.LOS don't want to, it's because MIBR.LOS can't. JDG are strangling them out of this game, not through the team fights, though they are ahead, but through objective control.
Yeah, and that's tough to see, right? Because you lost your top lane turret on one side of the map, and then the Herald towards that side of the map, and then also lose the Dragon on the bot side of the map. So you've got priority nowhere. That's rough.
You're not getting those cross-map plays, right?
Right, exactly.
Traditionally, when you see one objective going down on one side, you go to the opposite side to net the gold, to net the objective, but it's just not happening.
And that's what raises my eyebrow a little bit, because you're right, there wasn't the priority, but it's like, oh, okay, so why is it there, is the question. If you've got people playing towards that top side of the map, surely you can try and get something happening. They push towards that bot lane turret. don't fight anything, back away, give up the dragon as well, and as a result, that gold lead extends again a little bit for JDG, but the additional objective weight and map control is what is raising my eyebrow right now.
Yeah, but I still see hope in Duduhh. Duduhh individually does have some gold lead over Gala, right? Duduhh has some of the fanciest feet that I've witnessed here at EWC. He's been dodging so many skill shots, and he's almost 1v3'd in game 1. If MIBR.LOS can rally around Duduhh, if they can protect Duduhh, I still see a world that MIBR.LOS come back and win this one against JDG.
There's a play on the other side as Zest gets knocked up nearly at Meganon, stunned into the wall, but Vampire gets to brace. And that means his will is unbreakable, and the Gnar certainly is.
Yeah, Zest 0, 4, and 2. Sometimes it's not your fault when the enemy team decides that you are the weak point and overloads you every possible opportunity. There's nothing you can do with a well-timed wave and an unbreakable will from an Alistar. You can't hold on long enough for it to die. He's just not going to.
And on the other side of the map, pretty sure I saw HongQ realm warping out about 20 seconds beforehand, so the attempted play on the other side doesn't happen. Ackerman is a minion, and Xiaoxu is therefore going to be Pop Blossom, but this ain't Pop goes the Weasel. The Rumble's a lot scarier prey. Ackerman needs to be a little afraid as the flames keep spitting, but a cease and desist will allow Ackerman to get the kill.
And Ackerman gets it. You probably would have wanted that gold into Curse to keep him on a level field with Junjia.
He just drove into a wall.
Yeah, look, I've revoked one license already here at EWC 2026, and I'm telling you right now, I'm about to revoke that one too. That came from a bottle of Kellogg's cornflakes, and you cannot tell me otherwise.
That is not the best driving I have seen. Might be that mildly. I don't know whether there was a reason to drive into the wall. My assumption was no.
That deadly flourish goes out onto the clone of Ackerman. That clone from Nico, well-timed, can prevent so many things. It can stop the CC. It can stop multiple shots coming out of the Jhin. So really useful tool to have as Ackerman goes exploring. And we haven't really given time over to these supports. These supports have been, incrementally assisting their teams. Vampire 1, 1, and 6 though, as a fight breaking out.
TP from Vampire with that spellbook on the Alistar, the equalizer down as well, but now here comes the rest of MIBR.LOS, and there's a Talia Weaver's wall in, the Vault Breaker. Vampire makes himself unbreakable, but his body is looking a little bit beaten and bruised, and Zest finally gets some vengeance.
But that was 5 and 1 on the bot side. All they got was an Alistar and an ult. JDG, they're running up the mid, they're running up the top side, they're taking those cross-map objectives where MIBR.LOS hasn't been able to do that before, and they are punished for overloading that.
They get 3 plates top, they get a turret in mid. At least MIBR.LOS do get that turret in the bot side as well, so they don't come away with nothing. But it isn't a clean win, I completely agree. But hey, at least there are plays happening, which is better than we saw for the first 10 to 15 minutes of the game, where it felt like everything they did was just cursed to go wrong.
That's it, and speaking of curse.
And it is a deadly flourish into the chains of corruption. HongQ out survives, flash away from Duduhh is good. Junjia now here, needs to get the keeper's verdict. Knocks away the Gnar, but still shoved into the wall before he gets away. The rune prison's down though, and Xiaoxu is the one that secures the corporal punishment. Ackerman will Pop Blossom, but again, he gets 2 people knocked into the sky. Unfortunately, he's looking like he's going down into the dirt. Does get a decent tangle barbs though to root. There's a realm warp. Unfortunately, Ackerman, you might be a minion. You are still dead.
Minions can die just like champions, Ackerman. I'm sorry to tell you.
Should you get a CS score as well as a kill score for doing that?
Plus the gold.
That would be very funny.
You get the stacked champion, plus the minion, plus the CS. Maximum reward because you got that sneaky Nico. But JDG tidily win yet another team fight here.
Vampire gets hit by the rocket belt into the seismic shove. The equalizer to the wave. Very clean, Xiaoxu. So they get that shoved so you can't get anything there. They're already on the dragon. That's sole point for JDG. 3,000 gold in the advantage, and the map control continues to be stifling.
Yeah, and we take a look at this one again. MIBR.LOS curse. He thinks he has an angle onto HongQ because Duduh's here as well, but Vampire is here again. He forces the flash out of Duduhh, and then Junjia with that ultimate, is able to turn the fight back in their numbers advantage again. Sees more on the bot side, while on the top side, Feisty is being plugged at by Gala, so able to keep Feisty out of this one. Ackerman, though, tries to escape, but the inevitable Realm Warp from HongQ comes through, closes out the fight.
Between the Realm Warp, between Xiaoxu's TP, Gala zoning off the Talia, everything kind of just went a little wrong there. The wheels came off the bus. Maybe the driver's licenses in general are suspect in this game. Couple items now largely complete for JDG. Hell, they're well on their way to their third. You've got an arm guard in for HongQ. There's an engage in mid lane though, and the items might be helping them get the win. Eat the poppy lollipop as she knocks you up into the sky, and she ain't very sweet about that one. Feisty hit by the curtain call, being tagged, being slowed. One more to go. They're trying to get some more damage. Forced to flash away, but Xiaoxu follows, and he's got a barbecue, and he's roasting some Talia. Zest is here, but nowhere near the Mega Gnar. The heroic charge into the wall means a less than a heroic exit for the Gnar, who needs to exit the equalizer tags too, and forces more away. But you've lost your mid laner, you've lost your AD carry. Baron's alive, and they're realm warping over to it.
And you've lost the fight. JDG realm warp to that Baron because they know they have a 5-3 advantage. Now is the time to tighten their grip on this game. 3.5k up. 3 Drake stacked, 3 Grub, 3 turrets. It is a game of threes for JDG, and the only 3 that matters is not going to happen if JDG keep up this form in this BO3.
It's a little ironic when Jin's in the game. Hey, we'll have a look at this game because MIBR.LOS complete, or rather attempt to collapse on this mid lane, and Vampire full sense.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the only thing that they know. Junjia here with that steadfast presence, kind of frontlining. A beefy, tanky Poppy here. Feisty getting tagged with nearly every single shot, but Curse is unable to enter this fight to protect his team. And here, a steadfast presence from Junjia stops Curse getting in, prevents that Vault Breaker from the Vi to try and get something back.
Now, I'm going to give Vampire the benefit of the doubt there and assume he was trying to headbutt out the ulting Nico rather than just fumbling a headbutt pulverize combo that would have kept Nico in play. On the whole, a great play from him, but at the end, I wonder whether they could have picked up one more. In the end, it doesn't really matter though, does it, guys? Because still got Soul Point, still got all those grubs, still got the Baron, still got a mighty Baron play to go and collect at some point. They're only up 100 gold, so gold from it right now, but there's still enough turrets and enough time to ensure that number continues to grow rather than be at minus 140, which makes me look like a bit of a liar. Thank you, JDG. I really appreciate that.
Hey, look, we're all fans of JDG. We're all fans of MIBR.LOS because we are all fans of League of Legends, and we are getting a great game of it here and now at EWC 2026. But a minute and a half before the 4th Drake of the game, Baron, it's currently on JDG, so it won't be around for another 4.5 minutes, and they're looking to siege the base of MIBR.LOS. Curse going in here, though.
Deadly flourish onto Feisty's a little bit dodgy, as Ackerman was looking for the flank, had got that flash, didn't get the opportunity in the picture-in-picture. Thank you, production. We see Xiaoxu pick up that tier 2 in the top side that was already so heavily damaged by HongQ split pushing ways.
Junjia, though, has vision of Curse. Curse needs to respect it. They're responding to this top side. Really wants the red, but I don't think you want this.
No, there's a steadfast presence. There's a 2-level advantage in Curse. It's just not his game.
Curse, I have to question the decision there to try and contest for that when he saw JDG were pushing up through the mid lane. Now it's a 5v4 advantage over to JDG. Their gold lead is ballooning out to 5k. The power play getting even bigger here. Duduhh trying to get some chip damage.
Balloon's looking like a Zeppelin at this point. It's in the stratosphere. Very, very scary indeed. And now the power play is a little bit more meaningful. There we go. Appreciate that, JDG. There's a deadly throw. Spent too much follow-up. The resets come on forward. We've got 30 seconds until the Ocean Soul. And I think that'd be a great way to cap off this game. MIBR, you get one more roll of the dice, and it's going to be weighted against you.
That's it. Weighted dice are never fair, and right now it is not MIBR.LOS's dice that they're rolling with. We see so much vision control here as well. MIBR.LOS has it all in their own bot side jungle, but JDG, they have it in there as well, and then elsewhere to boot, they have vision on the Baron. They have vision in the alcove at the top of all places, just in case MIBR.LOS decide to go for that long, patient play to come from the back, from behind them. But look at all the pings. They want to contest this Drake. No, they need to contest this Drake.
They realistically do. Unfortunately, HongQ now has a full actualizer alongside that arm guard. Feisty gets a death cap. That's great news, but you need to be here. They're going to try and contest now. Overcome MIBR.LOS. Into the river they go. There's a rune prison going on down. On the other side, an exhaust is in there. Xiaoxu is low. They bring him out, but the Ocean Soul is there. And the tsunami of Jingdong Gaming washes away Brazilian hopes and dreams. Made in Brazil. Broken by the LPL.
Here in France, we do love to see it. Duduhh, I mean, Vampire is just tanking everything, letting JDG run them down. And these defensive pop blossoms from Ackerman ain't it, because JDG aren't letting him get in. He can't find a way to get that heroic pop blossom for his team to collapse around. Curse back here trying to do something.
But to the Nexus turrets we look, and JDG will take no prisoners, waste no time. They've got keys to crush. MIBR must hand over their keys to the kingdom, over to Jingdong Gaming with a pneumatic press in their eyes and some glee at their destruction of MIBR.LOS. They continue. Unfortunately for LOS, they're on their way home.
That's it. The LPL has sent the CB LOL packing. They will crush that key. The EWC 2026 road ends here for them, but JDG have earned their position